Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Sunday morning. With us today is the chairman of the Oversight Committee and a great Texan from the great state of Texas, Congressman and Chairman Pete Sessions. Well, Pete, what the heck is going on all over our country with all this fraud? I mean, I understand they've been telling me that Minnesota might be only the tip of the of what the heck is going on. I mean, they're talking about Ohio, they're talking about California. But you already started on Minnesota. We talked about it Thursday night. What else do you have to report?
Well, this is an important issue. In looking back over the week, it's important to remember that this investigation that was begun years ago by not just the legislature in Minnesota, but actually the governor was acutely aware of this, and the steps that we are learning, the steps that the governor and the attorney general took to squash this data and information, to squash the investigation. And so essentially, like what we would do in Texas, if you knew that formally the government was engaged in some sort of investigation, you would allow them the latitude and the time. Well, what's happened is that the Republicans figured out that it was causing whistleblowers within these agencies who came forward to the governor, who came forward to their own inspector generals, and they were threatened. And the governor came out, as did the attorney general, and stated that this did not exist, that this was made up by a bunch of people. So it grew over time. So the $9 billion is probably not a one-time occurrence. It's things that happened over time. Well, as these things happened, then the community then understood, not just the Somalians, but others, that this was a loophole and a way to do this. So we have put information out to other states from our members who've gone back and said, please look at what now is a frailty of the system and see what exists within your state and how your state might offer up an evaluation of where they are to come back and say, should we dig further into them or not? Very explosive week.
Elon Musk said the other day that of a $7 trillion budget, that 10%, $700 billion might be attributed to fraud, or etc. My gut feeling, I think he's more right than wrong.
Well, certainly, as you add up over 4 years of what might be the end of Trump 1 to go into Mr. Biden, we learned firsthand and still do know that one of the key reasons why these unintended payments happened, not the fraud, the unintended payments, was because we did not have government workers at work. We knew that President Biden openly wanted the federal government to stay at home. Tens of thousands of employees that traditionally at work would have, and I will give them credit as government employees, they were looking out for these on contact that they would make with people who were filing for claims. But when they were not there, the automation took over, and it was by and large self-reported. So there's no doubt in my mind these unintended payments that turned into fraud. It was, if you run a government where you do not have government workers come to work and you put things on automatic, this is going to happen. But we believe this is a different story that's being told. This is where we can point directly at, from testimony, saying the Walz administration, including the governor's staff, the governor of the things he's in charge of, and the attorney general, willfully took a negative view of this, hid the results, and acted like it did not occur. And that is what allowed this to also turn from unintended patients to fraud over these 4 years of the Biden administration.
I agree. It's very, very sad, very, very sad. And there's an old expression I used to watch in those FBI movies. If somebody doesn't go to jail, the problem will never be solved.
Well, if it's willful misconduct, which is where this is leading to, we had a lawyer from the Department of Justice who came out and said that was, when asked, that was his conclusion. Immediately, what was thrown was the race card, and Republicans were trying to butcher what they were doing, as opposed to the responsibility. So, in fact, you are correct. If we will not stand up to this, then the United States, as a law-abiding country, is completely in trouble. And that is why I think on Wednesday, we received assurances from our Democrat colleagues that said, we will not be in favor of this. We will be pleased to investigate this. We will, I don't know if they'll join arm in arm, but they will become engaged because they too care about $9 billion. And I was very pleased to see that there was certainly a handshake on that issue, and I'm going to keep them to that. As the chairman of government operations, I have one of my colleagues who is a Democrat, who is what's called the ranking member, Mr. Nfume from Baltimore, Maryland, and he and I too see the same opportunity to work together. We have to. It's hard to do it when you're on TV and when you've got people that are running for other offices. And we intend to be professional and do this, even though on Wednesday it did not appear that way on C-SPAN.
Mr. Chairman, Pete Sessions, I pray for unity between the Democrats and the Republicans, and in that way we can solve the problems of our country, because I truly believe when President Biden left the presidency, we were at the edge of disaster.
Well, certainly if you don't show up at work, certainly if you allow someone to openly defy their role and responsibility, that happens. But I will tell you that I would agree with you and think that as of the hearing on Wednesday, that there are enough common sense people that are Republicans, and we heard from several Democrats, this will not deter us effectively working together. And that is how you solve a problem. And for the people that hear this, they need to know they should expect us to work together, because as a parent of a Down syndrome young man, and lots of other families have the need for the money that is given for an intended reason not to be scammed or stolen. And so that's a standard that Mr. Nfume, my ranking member, and I, that's why we work together, and I think you will see that hopefully moving forward on this Minnesota investigation.
Well, Mr. Chairman, Pete Sessions, thank you so much for coming on, and the conversation will continue in the future, and good luck, and God save America. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.